Your Friday lunch served up by us, the loose ladies. Now, some of you might be shocked to discover that a survey has found that more than 1 in 4 British men admits to lying in order to get their leg over. One man questioned in the survey revealed, "I've certainly told the odd lie in order to get closer to a woman. I don't think it does much harm. But you do have to remember what you said. Or what name you've given, perhaps, Lisa Maxwell." But do you think, would you...
Said you weren't going to say anything.
No, I'm not going to say anything.
I'll have to tell him now.
No, you don't. But would you be upset if a man lied to get you into bed, Carol?
Me? No.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't want to know the name anyway.
No, of course not. I mean, if it was a one-night stand, absolutely not. Couldn't care less what they said. I've probably done it as well in my... we've probably all done it, haven't we?
No.
In my time, but, you know, not now. Well, actually, I say not now, but when I first met Mark, we both lied. We both lied about our ages.
What, he went up and you went down?
I lied down and he lied up. We're like, oh, my God, we're almost exactly the same age.
Did you say you just lied down?
No, lied down. I was 10 years down
right.
and he lied 10 years up.
Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely fine.
But also, there have been quite a few occasions when we're having a discussion about something and he'll say to me, yeah, but you've met, for example, you've met Nelson Mandela, haven't you? And I go, no. Okay, you have? I haven't. Yes, you have. You said you had. And I go, oh, well, I must have been lying then.
I don't think there's anything
care,
wrong.
but I definitely have told big jumbo lies I can't remember.
I don't do jumbos. I just do silly ones, and they just sort of fall out, and I don't know why. I've lied about my age. I've lied about wanting kids. I even made up a name. I called myself Kimberly Clark. After the toilet rolls. And it's funny because it depends on the lie as well. If you lie like that bloke in Corrie who pretended he was a pilot when he worked at Tyrac, yeah, that's quite dangerous. But I remember
especially if you try and get in the front of the plane.
Yeah.
This is quite worrying. But I remember when I first met Paul and we were having a chat, and then Aspen in Colorado came up in the conversation about skiing and that. I went, oh, it's lovely in Aspen, Colorado, and I haven't been. And I just because I lived in California. But yeah, no, he does know. Oh no, yeah, no, he does know. Because I lived in California, I thought, and I knew people that had been.
Yeah.
I could have nearly been.
Yes.
So but then the problem is, it's a 14-year-old lie, and now he thinks I'm a really proficient skier.
See, I do it the other way around because, I mean, I think we all tell little fibs, don't we, to make things a bit bigger. Or don't mean bigger, I mean better. You know what I mean? Things better, not bigger. Well, I don't. But anyway. But the thing is, if I meet somebody and I really like them, say, for instance, they were a snowboarder, I go, oh, yes, I've been snowboarding. I've been water skiing. Or I've been mountain climbing.
Speedy boarding.
So you just
Speedy boarding.
Yeah, thing that they like.
Yeah, but you see, I don't call that lying. I call that fantasising and pretending.
But do you do that in order to maybe woo them into your boudoir, or do you do it just to be polite?
Oh, no, I don't have a boudoir, Andrew.
Well, what if they try and take you on holiday, on a snowboarding holiday? What would you do?
No, well, then I'd have to pretend to break my leg. I'd have a plaster ready and go, oh, look, sorry, I broke my leg.
It's extreme.
Yeah.
Never a dull moment. OK, it's competition time now. If you fancy slapping on the sunscreen and sunglasses ahead of the summer, listen up. This week, we're giving you the chance to win a 7-night Mediterranean cruise for 4 adults. Courtesy of MSC Cruises, you could be living the high life in the exclusive self-contained private yacht club. You'll get to share 2 sumptuous ocean view cabins with a personal butler service available 24 hours a day to see to your every need. Enjoy your very own private dining experience, and you'll be treated to a Turkish bath and sauna in the onboard spa. Not only that, we want you to splash out with a further £10,000 in cash from us. For your chance to win a fantastic cruise and £10,000 in cash, just answer the following question correctly. The Vicar of Dibley was a hit TV comedy starring which actress and comedienne in the title role? Was it A, Kathy Burke, B, Joanna Lumley, or C, Dawn French? Call 09012 931 941. Calls cost no more than £1.03 from BT landlines. Calls from other networks may be higher, and from mobiles will be considerably more. Text your answer A, B or C to 63303. Text cost £1 £1 plus one standard network rate message. Red Button viewers can enter by pressing their red button now or enter for free at itv.com. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close at 11 a.m. on Monday the 11th of April. Entries made after this time won't be counted but may still be charged. And the best of luck. Our first guest is one woman who really has lived the Hollywood dream. As an actress, she counts John Wayne, Lana Turner and Roger Moore amongst her co-stars, and her campaigning has seen her travelling the globe. However, she's long stayed rooted in our minds for the role of journalist cum super sleuth Jennifer Hart in the hit series Heart to Heart.
Hey, look at this. Who's that in there, you see?
I don't know. Can't tell. Maybe I can get it enlarged.
That's a good idea.
Your croquet whites came. The cleaner said he found this in a pocket.
That's not my key.
It's Richard's.
You must have slipped it into my pocket.
Then the key is the key.
The key to what?
To something worth killing for.
Please welcome Stefanie Powers!
And Max with that voice.
I know, wasn't he fabulous?
And Freeway.
They were all fabulous. They were just great. Speaking about lying.
Good.
Let's get straight Speaking about lying, let's go straight to the punchline. It reminded me, because we never know what's going to come out of our mouths. And I used to, for years and years and years, I got caught up in this one. But for years and years, I used to go to New York, and I used to get in a taxi. And for some unknown reason, maybe because in New York you're anonymous, I don't know, whatever, I would open my mouth and I would suddenly be Italian. I have no idea why this happened. And then on one occasion I would be French or something. I would like to go to. And one time I paid the taxi cab driver. As I was going out, the taxi cab driver said, "Oh, Miss Powers, you don't have to do that." I was so horrified. I was mortified by the whole... Madame Powers. I was...
But what about the whole thing of telling a little white lie to entice a man into your boudoir?
Oh, well, I think we've all done that. And probably we continue to do that because girls are much more...
Do you think
the
we're better
moral
at
structure
it?
is different now, and I think... sometimes we're a little bit too aggressive, but, that's the way it goes. We have to exaggerate in order to come back to a happy medium.
And how would you feel? Because this survey said that, 1 in 4 British men have admitted to doing it. How would you feel if you found out that a man had lied to you in order to impress you?
Well, I think... there are ways. It depends on what your expectation of that fellow is and your expectation of what that relationship is. Sure. If it's a night train, come to the station and off it goes. Then we don't really care, do we? So, but if it's somebody who is meaningful to you, lies are not really very good, and so we mustn't give that any energy.
Now, I'm intrigued because you've got an autobiography now, and I would have thought you'd done one years and years ago. What made you decide to do this?
Oh, well, this is on a much more serious note. There were 2 life-changing events that occurred to me in a very short period of time. One was the loss of my mother, with whom I was extremely close, and we shared living quarters for the last 27 years of her life. We were we had a fabulous time.
She had a very long life, didn't she?
She had 96 years, and
wow.
even so, it's always too short, And then, actually, prior to her terminal illness, we had discovered that I had lung cancer. I had alveolar carcinoma in stage 1. It was confirmed by 3 different groups of doctors, and the prognosis was good, but it required surgery. In any event, anytime anybody says the big C, it's always startling. But my mother, even then, her very presence was a force that helped me survive. I had to survive because I had to get through this, because who was going to take care of her? And so up until the end, she was not only teaching me how to live, she taught me how to die. She taught me about the quality of life and how to endure the highs and lows. While recovering from, I had my surgery after she passed, and while recovering from both of these events, I had the occasion to realize that everything I threw out, my mother kept.
Wow. Amazing.
Well, all the memorabilia, because I was rather cavalier about throwing out photographs and things like that. And she kept postcards that I'd sent
She
from
was
the
proud
road
of you, I
and-
suppose.
Well, I guess, yes.
So has it been good to write the book? Has it sort of, have
A
you written it down
catharsis.
cathartic, and it's kind of gone now? You've been able to lay things to rest, as it were.
In many ways, yes, and not the least of which was also that it presented an opportunity for me to sort of set the record straight, as it were, about not just my relationship with William Holder, but about him, about the life of the man and the death of the man. But
And a brilliant actor as well. He was
And a
brilliant.
man who had such accomplishments that were unheralded. He was a conservationist before the word was in popular use.
Yeah.
He was a man of great achievements, none of which he capitalized on. He was out in the field doing wildlife conservation work before anybody had that in their vocabulary.
He was
In the
also a man that every
1950s.
woman in the world was in love with, I
Of
have to
course.
say. So it's lovely to read that book and read his life and enjoy him with you.
Oh, good. I hope that's. I shared some of our journeys, some of our wonderful times together, and also I think the book is more about the times and the people than it is about an ode to myself, because I never really thought that I was terribly interesting. That's why I played all those parts in the cab, in the taxi. I've always been more interested in other people and in more curious about the world in general and the extraordinary people that I had an opportunity to cross paths with.
How did your role in Heart to Heart come about? Because you weren't the original idea for the role, were you?
There were two other ideas. For a start, they thought Heart to Heart, Wagner and Wagner, so Lindsay Wagner, maybe with R.J. Wagner.
That's the Bionic
and
Woman,
The
wasn't she?
Bionic Woman.
Yeah.
And then they had to deal with Suzanne Plachette, but really, Robert Wagner, whom we all call R.J., championed me, and
And
that's how it all
everybody
happened.
thought you were in love with him or married to him in real life.
Well, we were married, but to other people.
Everybody thought you were in love. They wanted you to be in love with him, really.
I think, yes, I
Secretly.
suppose so, because that's, we had this extraordinary rapport.
Extraordinary relationship
We
on
still have a
screen.
great friendship, and he's, he's my friend, pal, and protector, and he always said I used to change my diapers, but not quite. Not quite, we did draw the line.
If you could say there was one important thing in your life today, what would that be? The most important thing?
Well, I suppose it's the work that I have the privilege of doing in championing the cause of wildlife conservation. Not only particular wildlife conservation, but the general idea of it, the general concept of the loss of habitat around the world, and why we are in such a critical circumstance today, not only as far as habitat for humans is concerned, but certainly as far as habitat for animals is concerned, because without habitat, without the understanding of how we preserve habitat, there is no future for either one of us. And if we can see animals as the arbiters of the kind of world we might inherit by virtue of what we've given them to survive on, it should be a bell that rings in our heads. We should have evolved to the point where we now have some intelligence and we can take these lessons and apply them to the future of mankind.
Do you know, that was beautifully put. Stefanie Powers, everyone. And all that and more, as Stephanie says in her book, Stefanie Powers, One from the Heart. Break time again, but still to come. Omar Jalili is providing the laughter. And we'll be asking, what is Carol kicking off about now? Back soon.